Hey everybody, welcome to The Bottom Line. I'm Michael Nolan, and tonight we're going to solve another rock and roll mystery. Now, what is that mystery? Well, it's all wrapped up in the question, what in the hell did any of us do to deserve Dolly Parton's brand new album, Rockstar? All right, so there have been clues to this mystery right in front of our faces the whole time, folks. I've done videos on this woman, and I didn't see it until I just recently listened to another pre-release. What is this? The 5th pre-release on this album? Oh man, holy shades of pre-Christmas thinking, Batman. But think about this. My very first video on Dolly Parton was a video that sung her praises. You see, she had just recently turned down the nomination for being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I sang her praises loudly, I stated in that video, and I still hold this to be true. She is one of country's very best singer-songwriters. I love the stuff she did prior to this whole mess. But you know what? It was 2 days later, she came out and she went ahead and accepted the nomination, all right? And so I put out a video saying, well, that wasn't cool. And you guys have probably seen a lot of my videos concerning the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Dolly Parton. But then came the induction ceremony and everybody was holding hands, and she made an announcement that she was a rock star and that she was going to record a brand new album, all in the rock genre. Surprise at the title, folks, Rockstar. But you know, it's through these pre-releases that gives us the final clue, and I'll get to that shortly. First of all, she released World on Fire. I said at the time, that's a great song. And by the way, if I had heard it as a country and western song, it'd probably be about my favorite country song right now. But it was completely mixed with a heavier kind of fashion, and I complained at the time, too much distortion. It seemed like there was plenty of distortion, the kind that we like on the guitars, all right, and even keyboards, the way that rock has used distortion to give it a more warmer sound, especially in the lower registers. Oh, the rumble and all of that. But it was her voice. They were distorting her voice on top of the mix, and then it seemed like they put a distorted filter on top of the whole mess. And I had to give it a pass. And the same holds true for all of the mixes that have come out since then as well. There have been 4 additional pre-releases. When she did Magic Man, she did it in a fashion that was so close to the way that Heart did it, you wonder why we were getting another version of this song at all. And the only time that record sounded decent was when Ann sang the lead from time to time on that track. And in the latest pre-release, Let It Be, we hear Paul and Ringo pretty much doing what they did on the original tracks, only those are pushed up in the mix here, all right? And Paul does an interesting choice of harmony on this track. I like his approach there, but once again, all the vocals, including McCartney's, are all on hyper distortion. Now, why does that bother me, and why is this a clue? First of all, the distortion you're hearing. Give a listen to these 5 tracks and tell me if the lead vocals don't sound closer to the distortion we hear in the latest rap tunes and hip-hop tunes. Because that's what I'm hearing, folks. All right? It's a dial-up distortion and a filter put on across of all of this that just reeks of corporate interference. And here's another thing. There's 30 songs on this album. How did she ever get this album done this quickly? Well, I'll tell you how this album was done so very quickly. She was starting on this album before we ever heard her even decline this so-called nomination. It was all being discussed prior to that. Her declining it was part of the story, something to get us all talking about it, right? And then she was on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, holding hands with Rob Halford, and everybody sang Kumbaya in front of everybody. And mere months later, we have 30 tracks. This whole thing was a sham, folks, and Dolly Parton was in on it from the very start. I mean, mystery solved, folks. And it started decades ago with one man, Jan Winter, how he manipulated those infamous interviews with John Lennon when John Lennon was in a pissed off mood, right? And how he blocked good reviews on Rolling Stone magazine's part from Paul McCartney. One writer going to give one of Paul McCartney's, I think it was Ram, a good review, and he put the kibosh on that. This man has been manipulating things for years. Oh, and guess who else is on this album? Just one probably of many examples, but Peter Frampton. You know, the same Peter Frampton that's not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. With John Sykes now in control of it, taking his marching orders from Jan Winter, and the connection with the MSG theaters and that whole company, and it coming out west in the guise of the MSG sphere in Las Vegas, we can see we're being manipulated on every damn front that there is. This is practically World War III in rock and roll. All of those distorted voices I'm talking about, where did they even get the idea to attack the vocals like that? Well, from the producers and the artists that they're inducting into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, like hip-hop artists and rappers who haven't got a damn thing to say about rock and roll. Get on your own side of the fence. I mean, look at the press this woman's getting for this whole thing, this whole fabricated story, and other bands, up-and-coming bands like Dirty Honey. You know, they're coming to a theater near me, and I was looking at how much their tickets were going for. Now, it's standing room only, general admissions, so the prices would be down. But $27 for one general admission? Have you guys heard this group? This is one of the best bands out. They're new, they're ready, they're full of energy, and you can see them for dirt cheap. And guess what? There are other bands out there putting out great stuff, and they get little articles. You know, Dirty Honey does their latest album kind of thing. But look what we've gotten with Dollywood Joins Hollywood. What a piece of crap this album is. Now, you guys might be saying, how can you know that the album is a piece of crap when only 5 out of 30 tunes have been released? 5 are enough to kill the album for me, folks. After all, didn't I cut down the latest Dark Side of the Moon remixing based on only 3 songs? You see, that's too many songs on that album to be remixed wrong for me to even give it a second chance. I won't do it. I won't do it for this album. There'll be no Dolly's Rockstar under the tree in my house this year. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. You know what? If you're pissed off as much as I am at this, put it in the comments, man. Let's get about 1,000 comments so that these clowns in the industry will start picking up on it, all right? And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Or if you didn't enjoy it, give it a thumbs up anyway. That helps the channel, all right? And anything you do is always appreciated. There are many ways to support this channel. Another way is if you've been watching my videos, but you haven't quite made the leap, you haven't quite subscribed to the channel, that's easy. All you have to do is hit that subscribe to the tribe button and you're there, all right? All right, I'm Michael Nolan, and together, folks, you and I, we are the tribe. I'll see you in my next video.